Greetings and welcome to the Talk to Me America show, where the world wants to know what you have to say. So call me and tell them like it is. I'll open the phone lines in just a few minutes. Welcome, welcome. It's once again Thursday evening, 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. for you Yanks over on the East Coast, Northeast Coast mostly. And time for another Talk to Me America, where the world wants to know what you have to say. Welcome, everyone. I hope you guys had a fantastic week while I've been gone. I am your hostess, Laura DGddss, LDG for short. I really like that emblem. My regular initials actually spell a word out, so it was like, yeah. You know how important the 80s were when people had those emblems with the three letters and they had to be real cool together and everything like that, like MGD and stuff like that. All right, so thank you for clicking on my little acre of the internet today. Appreciate y'all being here. Let's see who we have at the moment. Let's see, there's nobody on YouTube. Never expect too much on YouTube. Space Pirate Yvonne, I'm going from the bottom up. Don't think I have missed you. It looks like everyone can hear me. Hello, Cougaressa over there on Rumble. She's the one teaching the young men how to be young men. Yar to Space Pirate Yvonne and Sai. Hello, Muko, our kitty communicator. America will survive. Thank you for being here. I've seen you over there on the No Prisoners podcast. I appreciate you coming on over here tonight. Like I said, Cy, Lizzie, Long Toes, welcome to the show. I appreciate that. Oh, thank you so very much already. Thank you so very much. You get one of these for the donation, Lizzie Long Toes. From me and Mom, or Grandma, right? Grandma. Welcome to the show, and thank you so much for the donation. Everything. I'll get into that a little bit later, but everything I get from here, you guys finance this program. So, the more you give, the better I'm able to pay the bills for this thing. In fact, all of my bills are coming up. Looks like I'm 5 by 5 on everything so far. Nobody's telling me different. Salty Al Bundy, welcome. Zom, welcome to the show. Salty Al Bundy. Sparky the Welder, Mr. Tizo. Pastor Chatelet, my main moderator, and of course, if he's here, the Pond is here. Welcome, Pond. Don't forget to slide on into my chat at least once or two, so I at least get your numbers, and send me some fire, baby. Zero Die Loser, welcome, and yes, please send support there. I will get into that in just a minute. I'll do it real quickly because we got lots to talk about, and hopefully we get some phone calls tonight. You got 2 more Rumble viewers than normal. Is that right? 11 watching. Well, I had so far, last week I had 17 at the end of the night. So not yet. Keep sharing, though. That's actually the best way to make sure that we get more people in here. The main reason I'm doing this is get people to call me and talk about what's going on. Or what's going on in their lives, because we actually make the news. It doesn't matter what the talking heads say. If you've noticed and you're paying attention to anything going on, they're not talking about nobody. They're talking about the people that are getting hurt in these situations. They're talking about people that do things in these situations, etc., etc. The normies make the news. We should be the ones talking about it as well, because they are talking about us, but they're not talking truthfully about us, and that's the whole thing. Paulie, big fat Paulie, welcome to the show. Haven't seen you in a while. Appreciate you being there. And Toasty, my favorite breaded friend. Hey, toast is cooked twice. Cooked twice bread. Bread twice cooked. Salty Al Bundy. Who was that? Whose is that? I don't recognize that figurine there. All right. Real quick, my shout outs, of course, 451 Actual and combined with Kevin's Chaotic Coffee. Jada, welcome to the show over there on Rumble. I am actually broadcasting today on YouTube, Rumble, Odysee, and Kick. That's Kick. I actually have 10 followers over there, and I don't advertise over there very often at all. So thank you guys so much for sharing me. I wish I had more time to share myself and market myself. I know that 89 to 90% of getting, people to come to your shows and things like that is marketing, creativity. I'm just more of a creator. So the more you help me out with that, the better off we all are. I appreciate that. And of course, most people will listen to somebody else about somebody else before they'll listen to somebody about themselves. Even if they ask you about yourself, usually the eyes glaze over after about, well, I went to high school. Drunken Rocky, welcome to the show. Appreciate that. Appreciate you being here. As usual, you are one of my most faithful viewers. You and Pastor Chatelet, Toasty, Lizzie, all you guys, I appreciate y'all being here. Muko. Let's see. Like I say, where did I stop off? Oh, at the pond. Red Dawn Radio, as I like to call him, Tyrone Waters Melon. The Drunken Rocky again right after my show, 9 o'clock. The White Pill Experience. Actually, it's just the Drunken Rants now, isn't it? With a number. All right. Raynoth, DJ Based. Tom over there at America Floats. He never did call me back. How's he doing anyway? I didn't see him this week. Of course, I haven't been on the computer a whole lot. I was on for about a couple hours yesterday and then most of the day today to get the show to ya. Magical Trevor, who went viral. Reverend Rant, he just posted something at like 7 this morning. I didn't get a chance to watch it either. I just saw the timestamp. Some guy from Maine, Rugaru, Not Me Be, and Town, and your Town, and your Town, and your Town, and your Town. With the Pure Blood Media Group on community.pureblood.tv. That is the TV guide, interactive TV guide, and news presentation. RSS feeds, live feed. Joe Biden to address the country will announce financial support for Israel after funding Iran and Hamas. Yeah, they're not even hiding the fact that they literally fund both sides of all these wars anyway. So, yeah, that's another reason why I don't take sides anymore, because it's two ends against the middle, always. Space Cowboy. Welcome to the show. So, yeah, what can I tell you? But yeah, make sure you go over here and click and share this website as well. It's the news.purebloodmedia. And then, of course, community.pureblood.tv is the interactive TV guide or creator's guide, because it's not really TV. What do we call this? Streamer's guide. Streamer's guide. You go in and it's interactive. You can go in and click on it and it'll give you the links to wherever these are playing. In fact, I need to get you guys some more of my links. You guys only have my Odysee link up there, and I've got 4 different links plus Twitter. All right. So, and of course, you can advertise on here. I see Ranger Candy Coffee Company. Has anybody tried that? Did I see Space Pirate Yvonne's D's Nuts? His cousin does has a what is it? Wholesale nut and dried fruit company, and it comes very highly recommended by well, at least the gourmets that I know of. And of course, if you want to see what is on the air right away, just go to the on-air link, and it'll tell you what you can watch immediately. See, there's me! I used to be on top. You used to not have to scroll down to see me. But there's me! The Talk to Me America show. Let's see what DeWalt. Oh, nice sponsorship there, guys. Browse in full privacy, encrypt your connection, get a VPN, NordVPN. Excellent, excellent work, guys. This is our actual team or network here on Odysee, or actually on the internet, if you will, for purebloods. And those of us that are not with the establishment, if you will. Can I see before I buy? What do you guys, you guys ain't dealing drugs over here now, are you? I didn't think so. You better not be. It's these nuts. That's what you're dealing, right? Ivan's nuts, yeah. Wholesale nuts at wholesalenutsandDriedFruit.com. And like I say, I've had some gourmet cooks praise the quality, quantity, and pricing at that particular. And of course, they don't sponsor me. I just hear a lot about this, and I actually trust the people that are telling me that it's good. So give it a try. Let me know. Maybe send me a gift, because I do have a P.O. box down there if you want to send me stuff too. For supporting the show, of course. And like I say, don't forget all the convenient ways to support my channel. Zero Die Loser actually shared a couple of links with you. All of my links are down below, including my P.O. box if you want to send me something snail mail. I appreciate getting gifts. And you can even write me a little note if you want to. I'll save it. It'll go on my bulletin board back here. But don't remember. No stupid people beyond this point. Warning! Warning, warning, warning. If you were not here last time, I explained that my husband went shopping. He saw it somewhere and said, this would be absolutely perfect for your podcast, so I'm buying it for you. Isn't he thoughtful? I have one of the most thoughtful husbands on the planet. All right. Thanks for being here. Again, my channel is completely supported by you guys, so thank you guys for all the support. And again, the bills are coming this way. October, actually, I'm a little bit overdue for my video editor, but that's not too bad. I just don't want to lose my phone, which is due beginning of next month. So, unless you guys don't want to call me anymore, I can change the format, but I'd rather have y'all call me. Maybe I can set it up to where I can just have guest stars every week. I don't know. Let's see. Super Chats on Rumble and Odysee. Ko-Fi, which comes highly recommended by Pastor Shadley. If you guys actually are looking for a way to accept money from people, I highly recommend that as well. Pastor Shadley is one of those people where, man, if he ain't got the sauce on something, he ain't messing with it. So I like that. I like that. And that's one of the reasons I do that particular platform. Of course, you can also see this little thingy I've got down here if you've got Cash App. They also have monthly options, blah, blah, blah. Best thing to do, though, and I appreciate it, and I just saw somebody did that for me. They shared me out. X me out, baby. X me out. Or social media me out. Just take this little link from wherever you are and say, hey, check this chick out. She's got wild white hair. Or whatever. Main thing is, like I say, we want folks to call in and exercise their First Amendment rights. That's the whole purpose of my show. So don't shut up now. Never surrender. Never shut up. All right, y'all. I try to get through that shit as fast as I can. I hate the advertisements as far as that goes. Hello, I'm your ninja. Thank you so much for being here. American Dream 2.0. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Space Cowboy. These nuts are pure blood. They expensive as fuck. Well, wow. Actually, you're not wrong. Sometimes fuck is very expensive. Or the consequences thereof. Or the results. All right, I'm opening the phone lines. Opening the phone lines. Opening the phone lines. All right. Real quick. All right, phone lines are open if you want to call about something. I know there's so much shit going on right now. If you just want to vent, it seems like sometimes I'm just here to listen. I appreciate that. I feel really sorry for the people that are going through what they're going through, if they're actually going through this stuff. Boy, you guys are fast. Greetings, you are on the air. Deep breath. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
I hear you.
You can hear me?
I can.
Okay. I just learned about your show from Cougaressa today.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you, Cougaressa, and thank you for calling.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah. Questions. Why do we even bother having? Why do we even bother having a Republican Party when they?
I lost you. When they what?
What's your position on
politicians?
Yeah, I have a delay.
Oh, gotcha. Well, I was gonna say, mute the show and just talk to me.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, mute the show and just talk to me. Yeah, there's definitely a delay. Okay, you want to know what my position is on what?
Well, whoa, are you...
Hello? Hello? Wow, you keep buzzing out. Bad connections. And of course, Skype isn't always the best in the world at all times. Are you there? Are you there?
Now I'm here. Okay, I had to get out of there.
Ah.
Yeah, I got looking at this this problem in Israel, and one of the questions is, if they haven't had a vote since 2006, how do you kill anybody under 17 that had nothing to do with it? Are they redeemable? I mean, is that where we're at?
I wish I could answer a lot of those questions. To be honest with you, if you were listening to me last week, I basically am not taking sides on this. First of all, because...
No, it's not about a side. I think you can compartmentalize and ask just a very thin question. Because my mom was in the Hitler Youth, and she was out at 17. She had no choice.
Right.
She wasn't irredeemable. And came to this country. It may be anecdotal, but I don't recall them, just writing kids up. I don't think that it's not about I'm for Israel or for Palestine. I'm just asking a very targeted question of how anybody can justify that under any circumstances.
Well, one thing I can tell you, I haven't tried to justify any of it. And like I say, war is hell. And there's nothing fair. There's no winning. I can't justify any of it. Now, I don't really know a whole lot about that, except for the fact that those two factions over there, no matter what they've called themselves throughout the years, have always been fighting. They've always been killing each other.
Yeah, but
this is a 4,000-year-old war.
Hostages. What about the hostages? What about them? Nobody, not a word. Crickets.
Well, shame on our whoever. Shame on our leadership, if you can even call it that. But we've been shaming on them. They've been shaming on each other and shaming us and shaming. So the silence at this particular point from them doesn't surprise me.
Well, they just put a memer in jail for 7 months.
Yep.
And it's cricket from the Republican Party. They arrest parents. They're going in. I'm Catholic. They're targeting my church.
Think about this. How long has the Republican Party been doing this, though? The Republican Party hasn't been the Republican Party since the 90s. Right. So don't expect anything from them now.
No, but I guess what I'm saying, I do believe that the people have reached a point now where they really hate them and they don't care. Because what's the difference?
You're right.
They've pushed it too far. And I don't think they realize that yet. They will fight to the end because it's all power and money, and they don't realize that we're just done.
Yeah.
We're being destroyed on every level.
Yeah.
Why would you?
Yeah. Well, that just tells me that those people aren't Republicans, or at least not what the Republicans used to be. So, like I say, that to me, everything that's going on in Washington and everything like that right now is all political theater to keep out the non-establishment people. It's all political theater. In fact, I said something about it the other day. It was, what did I say? It was a meme I saw. Washington is Hollywood for ugly people.
Yeah, I think it's actually worse. I think it's the gulag without bars. Because what they're doing is not only unconstitutional, it's unlawful.
Right.
And they've normalized this action. And once you normalize the masses to this, we're in real trouble. And I believe that's where we're at. It's been normalized. Oh, yeah, this isn't lawful. No, you don't get to have an attorney. No, you don't get to bring in your witnesses. No, that's okay. Now we're going to sentence you. And yeah, don't worry about it. It's been normalized. This is the biggest problem. And once you normalize that, the cycle repeats as history, as every single war has started. And that's exactly where I think we're headed, because that's what people are doing. They don't bat an eye at it. And the fact that there's nobody standing up, there are no, voices in the street tells me everything I need to know because I've heard the stories from my mom. I'm telling you, this is how it started there. Nobody thought about it, and they normalized it until pretty soon it was normal.
Yep.
They already call you maggot. I mean, once you dehumanize a human being, it's really easy. It just is. That's what happens. The history's taught us that. So I don't know. I don't see any reason to back it. I think the best thing to do is get communities together, stay tight, get food, defend yourself, do it best you can, and support your friends that are based and need it, and barter, do whatever you got to do for those that don't have the money to throw out bucks right now. I think we're headed down a really dangerous path, and I don't think this train can be stopped at this point. But hopefully I'm wrong.
I hope you're wrong too, but then again, there's a lot of people that survived that stuff. That I was going to say, usually this doesn't happen so fast in between world wars. It's only been 80 years since World War II, which is actually some of the exact same things that we're seeing as you mentioned.
It's true, and it does happen faster than you think, because even in Germany, it started in the I think in 29 or 30. My mom was born over there, and it took years to get to the point where kids could beat a human being in the street without a second thought.
Right.
So it's metastasized. I don't think our younger people know the history and how easy it is to work it. I mean, we all put masks on, not me, but I mean,
right.
Nobody put up a fuss, and they made it okay to demonize their fellow Americans, and that's how it started there.
Right. Limited access. Welcome.
It's not a leap,
Right.
Once they got that test was done, it's like, okay, we can move on to the next. They won't use that because they know how easy it is to manipulate. And we have no press, and the only communications of any base people are shows like yourself that, real base people that have a thinking brain can communicate and actually learn something from and stay within a community that understands these things.
Right. Skeletor. Well, I think that, if you notice, all of this stuff is going on despite all of the technology that we've got. Throughout the years, especially since World War II, people have been trying to convince us that things that happen aren't happening, or that don't happen, things that naturally happen, things that occur regularly are not happening while they're happening right under your nose. Who you're going to believe, me or your lying eyes,
right.
etc. and etc. And they've convinced enough people.
Between the lines. They don't read and they don't listen. If you listen closely, and you get really good quickly, the way they present it as, or somebody said, you have to listen for those tells. That's really important to be able to see through. That's how you see through it. And kids don't know how to do that. Younger people, God, I sound so old, but yeah.
Well, they're trying real hard to take our God away from us as well. That right there.
Well, that's the first step.
Yeah, that right there is. That right there is one of the biggest cruxes of that apostrophe, because of the fact
absolutely
that
they've done it every single time.
It's like they're saying, "Don't look over there. He's just imaginary.
Right.
Look at us. Look at us. We're your gods. Let us be your gods. Let us take care of you." And it's almost like. When I see that, or when I hear that kind of thing, it's like that cartoon character, where the good smelling smoke comes up and starts to lure you over towards it. To where,
yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. It's bait and switch, yeah.
So
Absolutely.
Yeah, the only thing I can.
And then they have to change that news cycle quickly, very quickly.
Sure.
I'm old enough to tell you that it was bad enough, but they didn't have the technology to like keep moving the target. Oh, look at Britney Spears. Who gives a shit? But that's what they keep doing.
Right.
And we don't have the attention span of a flea in this country anymore, as the masses, in my opinion. They won't read past the headline, because if they did, they would get it. They won't look anything up. They just, I don't know. it gets me so irritated. It's like there's no school. I wouldn't put my grandchildren in a school ever at this point. I homeschooled my daughter. There's no way I would let these people indoctrinate my children.
Yeah.
8 hours of a whole bunch of nothing. My daughter used to come home bored. If you can't teach it in 2, then you're a bad teacher.
I used to skip school because I was just so dumb.
Right?
After 8th grade, you just started learning the same shit over and over and over. And my dad kept yelling at me, you got to keep going to school after you go to school. You got to keep going. It's like, why?
Right.
I don't plan on being a teacher.
They believed them. But I think speaking of schools, since, our property taxes pay for them, the parents need to, I know everybody's busy, but you know what? Who was it? Tolstoy? Or no, I'm sorry. It was the other one. Crime and Punishment. He even talked about this and said, you know what? If I could go back, I would live my life in seconds, not minutes and hours, and I would be more productive. We are a lazy society. We're distracted. We're addicted to the internet. I could get off heroin easier than, you can get kids off the internet because it's just too, it's right there.
Yeah, well, they don't challenge kids anymore. They just indoctrinate them nowadays. They don't challenge anybody.
They absolutely do, and they have them too long. And the parents, I get it. They're both working, but nevertheless, communities can come together, and I've seen it, and put together groups where they teach and take turns and, what are your kids, what is the values there? I guess you have to pick. And you better pick wisely. And if nothing else, put cameras in those classrooms. You pay for it.
Yeah.
Why don't, I think that would solve a multitude of problems.
Yeah, from what I've read, we more than pay for that kind of thing. I want to know where a lot of this money is going. And it's usually going to the board's pockets. That's where that stuff goes. They're always saying,
paying property
and
taxes?
they have it set up.
You own your home straight out.
Yeah.
The bank owns it.
Right.
Let the bank pay them until you own it straight out.
Mm-hmm.
That's a scam. You're taxed for the home, and then you're taxed for the tax that you bought, and the tax. No, you don't own your home yet.
Mm-mm.
But they're taxing you as if you do. It's all bullshit. Oh, sorry. I probably shouldn't have said that.
No, that's good. That's fine. Free 1A. I'm a 1A aardvark. Go for it.
And it's just, put the cameras in. And the Republicans, they don't push back. Look at East Palestine from Ohio. Boy, did that go away fast. How would you like to live there and not have any value in your property or land? Their lives are wrecked.
Yep.
And and we're off to something else. And to countries that we have no business in.
Right.
I 7 million plus in this country, 85 plus thousand, and I know that number's much higher. Children missing. Oh gosh, imagine that. Wonder what happened to them. Island. I don't know.
451 actual. Well, as soon as the celebrities got involved in it, it was all like, "Oh, shh. All right, let's listen to Oprah and The Rock now, and don't listen to the rest of the people, and hush them away, and shoo them away, and pay them off, and yeah."
And what's stunning, even in that trial with Epstein's mistress, there was no perpetrator because they're in the book. How do you convict somebody without the perpetrator, the person that did it? Can somebody tell me how that happens?
Ask your question again. How what?
How do you convict Ghislaine Maxwell for the crime when they refuse to show you the book of the buyers who perpetrated and she sold to?
Oh yeah, they convicted her for nothing, basically.
Because that's not a law, it's illegal. You have to have a victim, you have to have the perpetrator.
Yeah.
That's our law.
Yeah, it's really kind of strange, huh?
Not strange, it's illegal. It's literally turning the law on its face.
Well, obviously she's not suing.
Never happened.
Something's going on. Her lawyers, don't you think her lawyers would have advised her of some way that she could sue over this? Because this is wrongful detainment or whatever. Yeah, wrongful arrest and all that.
It is wrongful prosecution.
So
well, maybe it's keeping her from doing a Jeffrey Epstein because he did kill himself, and she doesn't want to do that.
Yeah, well, there's some kind of deal going on there where she's keeping her mouth shut.
It's just never true. You just can't convict them. I say, well, who did you sell them to? Well, we can't tell you that. Well, case dismissed because that's our law. I know that much. But nobody wants to bring that book up. And that is just the beginning. That's actually illegal. It's just not the law. Just on that face.
So, yeah, you'd think she'd be suing the shit out of him, especially as rich as she is, as rich as her family has always been.
Yeah, but she's also at, a spa resort prison, not, at a Martha, whatchamacallit. What was her name? Martha Stewart prison. She's not in a prison. So, yeah.
I was going to say, you think she had the same deal as Epstein? Because I know he was in a prison somewhere that he had, work permit. He was out during the day. He only had to show back up at night.
That was in the early days. And then when they put him in New York, they had to, do him in, apparently, because he was in the worst prison ever. And, the cameras went out, except the ones in the hall. Nobody came up. Imagine that. So
yeah, all this shit, and they expect us to trust the government with this crap.
Nobody trusts them. Anybody that trusts my mom, even when I was growing up, and I'm in my mid-60s, would say, we didn't trust the government. You were taught to question the government. Now it's just the opposite.
I was taught to question everything. I'm surprised they haven't knocked my house down yet.
Yeah, now after tonight, I already see that. I think I hear helicopters, but hey, at this point, I don't care.
Well,
you get to the point where you.
On to my point as far as the thing about taking God away and everything like that. It's going to come down to, and it always does, I don't care how much technology we get and everything like that, it's going to come down to the primal definition, I guess, of survival of the fittest. It always has, it always will. The minute we start coddling the weak and the indigent, this is the kind of shit that happens, and it always comes full circle.
We've reached that point.
Yep, it always comes full circle.
That point where, I heard one of the reps that voted against Matt Gaetz, and I forget his name. He was the Cuban, and he said, and he actually, I can't even believe it, on Twitter, he's like going, well, I'm a Cuban immigrant, and I'm like, are you really? You're going to play the race card? No. We're done with that, okay? No. We're done. I don't care. We've been called everything under the sun. Everybody in this chat knows that's true. We don't care anymore. We're immune to it. We're sick of it. Go take your little self and go cry in your your closet because I'm done.
Right.
You child, you infant. We don't have time for this.
I'm so glad you called in. I'm so glad you called in, because that's literally what my show is kind of sort of about. This is how we should have been dealing with it. And actually, to be honest with you, I can remember from almost 10, 11 years ago when I started hearing these weird things that these people would come up with, these, like, girls could be boys and things like that. Fuck you! I've been saying that. I've been saying that since 10, 11 years ago.
Right.
And I'm just now starting to hear people like you, people like Candace Owens. In fact, I was going to feature Candace Owens and that new guy that wants to be prime minister in Canada, how he treated the gotcha.
He's awesome. The apple chewer, that's a lesson in how to deal with the press.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The apple chewer. I love it, the apple chewer.
Yeah, he's awesome. It gives him time. He's just, he's nonchalant. That's the technique. Right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the more calm you are, the more freaked out they get. In fact, I learned that from a couple of exes.
Who said that? Well, you must know one.
I've learned that from personal experience with quite a few narcissistic acquaintances that I've had.
Right.
The more you just smile and nod, the freakier they get. Let them go crazy. Let them get arrested. Yeah. Let them do that crazy
just stay calm because it drives them crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so good. And again, I'm like 65 and 66. And and I was in the film industry, and I learned a lot of this stuff just out of, not for being nefarious, but to deal. You know, that's how you get contracts, and you have to know how to talk and how to listen. And that kind of nonchalant kind of comfortableness with yourself is a learned, I mean, like it or not, it's a learned skill. And the fact that they don't do that in this country and they just backpedal shows stupidity, that they really aren't standing for you. I don't think it's stupidity. I always tell people,
well, we've created a lot of cowards too. These puppets, they're cowards. They're all of them cowards.
It's like I have a 2-year-old and I have a 10-year-old autistic grandson, and I watch them, and it's like I talk to my daughter, and she always goes, "I'm so glad I was raised by a boomer." I said, "God love you." You say that now, but anyway, she goes, if my daughter came to me and said, "Mommy, I think I'm a boy, I would maybe take her." And I go, "No, you wouldn't take her to a therapist because they are evil. No, what you tell her is play with Iron Man, play with this, but you're not. And by all means, enjoy yourself. You're not a unicorn either tomorrow."
Right.
If
one day they think they're princess, the next they think they're a frog.
Exactly.
Let kids have their imagination. Don't be changing their body parts because they want to act like a fairy book. All right?
They're so sick. Well, you probably remember in even the 90s when the big thing was adopting, the foreigners, the black kids, the Chinese. They were accessories. Now the accessory is your LGBTQ plus minus sign kid. How full of yourself must you be to use your child's very minimal brain? It doesn't even completely become an adult till like about 25.
Right.
For your own reasons. You're a sick son of a,
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, strangely enough, even Bill Maher actually pulled out the stats on that. And it's most of your celebrities and the people that live in these bigger cities and the sometimes not so great areas and things like that. It's just, they want to be somebody. They see how, they hang around. In my opinion, a lot of them hang around with losers. They
do. But again, I have to go back to the parents because although I had my daughter at 36, you had Gen Z, I think, Gen X, whatever that one was. Where were they? My daughter's girlfriends would come to my house and get ready for the parties and their proms and stuff. Their parents were out dating God knows who, didn't even call to check on them. And they were like 10 years younger than me.
Yeah, us Gen Xers were pretty feral.
They really were.
That's the reason. I think, like I said before, we see and have seen through a lot of this bullshit because parents in that era as well too would lie to the shit out of their kids. Oh, we got to go do something like this or do something like that, and the kids would catch them lying just so that they could be alone. Or the kids would be locked out of the house. You could only drink out of the freaking hose and things like that. I think a lot of Gen Xers took that and said, well, I'm not going to do that to my kid. And kind of a lot of them went the exact opposite. Or because they were so...
It's really true. Or they were just ignored. I mean, I had girls my daughter's age come over, and their mom never even taught them to pluck their eyebrows or help them look pretty, and curl their hair. Stupid, just normal things a parent would do. And they were, busy out with somebody. And it's like, this is so awful. And they would hang out. And do you think I heard my phone ring one time that night? They all hung at my house because somebody gave a shit. That's why.
You were one of those parents where everybody hung out because I didn't have a house like that. But there was a house on my street where everybody would hang out. Yeah.
No. I was disabled. I'm disabled. I was living on a string. But you don't have to have money to be somebody that is reliable and right and do the right thing.
Indeed not.
You can do the right thing with nothing. It's what you prioritize. I mean, these children matter to me.
Believe me, there's a lot of Xers I would probably ask and talk to right now that would say, "Yeah, man, there was one house in the neighborhood, man, saved my life. We always hung out. They would always feed us. They would always, we always got advice from them. They were always there when our parents weren't around, stuff like that." Oh yeah, I remember those days. Yeah. I'm one of the very first Xers, 1966.
You probably only remember like one teacher or two, like myself, that actually gave a damn, that knew and would ask you and actually go out of their way. They didn't exist then either. It's not new. Like you said earlier, this has been going on for a long time, and I agree with that. And
nothing new under the sun.
No, it's just gotten worse, is all it is. And it's made a lazy society.
Slop!
Lazy.
Welcome! Long time no see. Sorry, hang on one second. Bobby Digital, I've got to acknowledge
no, I'm going to let you go.
The folks in there. Yeah, actually, somebody just sent me an article that I need to read, too. Somebody else wants to call in and ask about this article. But I do appreciate you calling in. And
joy.
And thank you for being here, and appreciate whoever it was that told you to call in, etc., etc. That's what this show is all about. Please tell your friends. Share.
Did Ran and Clarissa, they threatened me, and I had to act. And their day was coming.
No bullying.
Those two are warriors. They won't let up. I swear to God, and I love them for it.
Wake up! Anyway, it's not just Dems getting killed. Oh yeah, well that's why I say I was gonna say I don't consider them Republicans anymore. They haven't been Republicans since the '90s. So. No. Yeah, it's literally turned into a uniparty system, and what better way to always win than to be on both sides?
Right. And I'm one of these people that look up, because I'm such a nerd. I look up the money, and I follow the money. And if you look, you'll see that they're all into Raytheon. They're all into this. They're stock trades. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
God, I should run for office just so I can take care of my bills. Because I certainly could do it real quick under their regime. It's unbelievable. It's all money and power, and they're fighting tooth and nail to keep it, even though everybody hates their guts. I don't think they're going to win this one, not for any long period of time. As you said earlier, it's reaching the pinnacle. I think they've worn out their welcome. We don't believe them anymore, and we don't even care anymore. And that's a dangerous place to be. But hey, maybe we ought to like this scandal. And like you said, the survivors will survive.
Yep.
Absolutely. And it's been a pleasure. And thank you for taking my call.
Oh, thank you so much for calling. I really appreciate it. Thank you for being here.
And I'll be back in the chat in a moment. Thank you.
All right. Fantastic. Thank you. Bye. Have a great night. God bless.
God bless.
Good night. Bye. All right. Shout out to the caller. Appreciate you calling in. All right, I just received this from Tweak. How are you, Tweak? How are you doing? He said he wants to call and talk about this. Phone line's open at the moment. Video: suspect violently attacks Georgia cop after being pulled over for speeding and is gunned down. Suspect's family claims he was a victim of police brutality and murders. Camden County, Georgia. Greetings, you're on the air. Is this Tweak?
Yeah.
Hey, Tweak, how are you? Is that you in the picture there?
Is it me?
No, that's a cop.
In my little emblem? Are you talking about that? My little Odysee emblem? Oh, that's not me in the cat.
No, in the picture behind here on the article you sent me. You want to give us a rundown? What's up?
Well, no, I watched it, and I want someone to actually talk about this kind of stuff. Like,
okay.
The family says it's murder. It is murder. All right, and everybody's just like, I've read the Twitter articles and the Twitter comments about people. Hey, you shouldn't disrespect the cops and put your hands on the cops. You should do what the cop says. No, these police officers are revenue officers. I want everybody to go into their city or their state and look up traffic laws, and the DMV, you go through the Department of Transportation, which falls under the Department of Revenue. Everything, every code and statute doesn't apply to you guys. It's for the revenue officers. You know what I mean?
Right,
that
I got
right
you.
There he's a revenue agent, so he doesn't have authority by the Constitution to pull that man over. When that man said, "Hey, do you have a warrant?" I mean, the guy has a Fourth Amendment right to be secure in his person's papers, effects, and stuff like that.
Right. Indeed, yes.
But so I'm just brief synopsis. But I mean, the guy was completely right. And then that cop, "Oh, you're speeding." That's not a crime. It's not a crime. The cop can say it is. It's not. It's a code violation.
Okay.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
The only things that are crimes are when you violate somebody's rights or you trespass upon somebody. That's it. So if you injure somebody or steal from somebody or something like that, that's a crime.
Oh, gotcha.
That cop doing 100 miles an hour, it's not. It didn't hurt anybody. So I'm just saying, when that cop shot that guy, yeah, well, he was going for his life. I understand that, but that cop is the reason that that guy lost his life. That cop doesn't have a right to take somebody and say, "Get out of your vehicle." Who are you? That guy asked him, "Who are you?" And he's just like, "I'm the law, or I represent the law." No, you don't. You're representing a traffic ordinance, and that's not the law. He's pulling him over for a traffic violation and threatening to shoot him, you know, if he doesn't do what he says, because what? He was driving fast? So what? I watch cops all the time drive up and down the highways without their lights on, doing 90, 100 miles an hour. I just drove 20-plus hours. Well, I drove 40 hours from Texas to Florida and back. Do you know how many cops I got passed by that were just doing 90 miles an hour, just speeding past people, not with their lights on?
Right. In fact, wasn't there a video of this one chick cop that said something to the effect that something about, "Hey, if we're going fast and we come up behind you, get the fuck out of our way," and stuff like that, or "we'll arrest you," or something like that. That was they made a big fuss over that too.
Yeah.
And it was like, who the fuck died and left you in charge? That's always my question. That's always my question.
The consent of the governed. You're just driving from point A to point B, and some new town pops up overnight. You know, you go from point A to point B, right? And mind your own business.
Right.
Now, between the time you're at B, a new city populates in between that way, and you're coming back from point B to point A, and now all of a sudden they pull you over, and they have these weird, ridiculous rules that you can't drive red cars on Sunday. And you're like, "What?" And they arrest you for it. You're like, "Who the fuck are you guys? I didn't consent to any. You can't drive red cars on Monday or Sundays."
Right. I never asked for a vote on. They never asked me to vote on that. Rocky says, "Play the video before he goes any further." They're all screaming at me, "Play the video." Okay, let me see if I can find the video. All right.
Just scroll down.
Warning: the following video contains images that some viewers may find upsetting.
Step out! Get out! Get out! Put your hands back here.
I ain't doing shit.
Put your damn hands back here.
Who are you?
Staff Sergeant of the Sheriff's Office.
My name is LDG.
I don't care. Step to the rear of this vehicle.
In the name of who?
In the name of the law of the state of Georgia. Step back here now or you're getting tased.
I'm going. Watch me now.
Put your...
Well, so now you're saying that this guy just stopped him for a traffic stop and he had to get out of the car? Skip all the extra troublesome steps and don't pull over. They don't have a right to pull you over for traveling. Frog Springs, if that cop was actually following the law, he wouldn't have been in danger because he wouldn't have legally had the man pulled over. The cop put himself in danger by not following the actual law. Okay, so Tweak, you say that this guy just stopped him for a traffic violation. What was the reason why he wanted him to get out of the truck? Was there any?
The cop said that he blew past him doing over 100 miles an hour.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's why he told him to get out of the vehicle. All right. Well, you notice when he got out of the vehicle and whatever, he didn't have to. He doesn't have to. There is no such thing as lawful orders.
Right.
For one, all these cops, these police, are giving powers. They have a job. They're just hired on. That's it. All right. They're like Burger King workers. They're just hired by a city. Okay. Burger King is a corporation. They need guys to fill or make fries, so they hire fry makers. cities are corporations, and they need people to enforce their statutes and codes. So they hire police officers, just the same authority.
Right.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So when he says that I have lawful authority to tell you what to do, you have to follow my orders. It's a lawful order, or whatever. You're disobeying an unlawful order. That's bullshit, because their powers are granted to them in a municipal code. All right? And according to Article 6 of the Constitution, Section 2, the Supremacy Clause, it goes as such. Oh, this is amendments. Let's go over here to Articles. Article 6. This Constitution and the laws of the United States, which shall be made in pursuance thereof, and all treaties made, or which shall be made
Hello, Ben.
under the authority of the United States, shall be the supreme law of the land, and the judges in every state shall be bound thereby, anything in the Constitution or laws of any state to the contrary notwithstanding. Basically saying that the Constitution is the supreme law of the land, all right? It says all of that. And then every state constitution and everything else has to abide by this.
Right.
All right?
Uh-huh.
Now, what is the Constitution?
That's
is it
the
a rule book? Yes.
It's supposedly what our government's supposed to do for us. Not the other
No,
way around.
It's not.
It's not.
It's not. That's not what it is. The Constitution is what the government cannot do to us.
Right, okay.
This is their boundaries. They can't violate our rights, our
Right.
God-given rights, because they're given to us by God, our Creator. All right? And they are bound to these rules that they cannot infringe upon our right to keep and bear arms.
Right.
All right? So, Article 6 is the Supremacy Clause.
Yeah, Drunken Rocky
Right.
says, cops don't give a fuck about the Constitution. You have to fight the legal system, not the cops. Yeah, I try to stay away from cops if I can help it. Because
Okay, but
they'll
what I'm
find
saying
shit. I've known cops that they'll find shit. If they decide they don't like you or they decide they want to fuck with you, they will. And they'll plant shit on you. They'll lie about you. That's why when, like, if you go to court and they don't show up, you get dismissed. Right?
Well, that's just because there's supposedly not a witness. Technically, they're not an injured party. So
Right.
anything a cop says in a court of law is actually hearsay. So since he's not the injured party, everything he says is, what is it called, third party?
Ooh, nice. I like that.
Just hearsay. Yeah, so I'm sorry. All you have to do is when you get a chance to ask the officer, when they bring him in, the prosecuting attorney will be like, all right, hey, were you trained on this? And how did you catch him? Oh, with your speed trap, yada, yada, yada. You just have to ask him, Jesus, sorry, I had a brain fart. I'm sitting here thinking about other things. Fuck, where was I at? See?
You have to ask a cop something. Eventually, you have to ask
Yeah,
a
I
cop
know.
something.
Shit, I had a Joe Biden moment. Sorry. I
It's
didn't
all
shit my
those
pants.
drugs in the
Uh,
60s, man.
I wish. It was all those blow up fucking explosions. Trying to think.
All right. Well, you got some people on here arguing that this cop actually shot this guy because it was like self-defense. I mean, the picture they start with, this dude seems to be choking this cop over the truck here. Like they're fighting, and the guy that got out of the car is winning.
He can use it as self-defense, but he started this. And when he first got out of the vehicle, because he was listening to him, he went to go lay his hands on that guy. He went to go grab him up, and that's assault. He doesn't have a warrant. The guy asked him, "Do you have a warrant?" And according to Amendment 4 of the Constitution, remember Supremacy Clause.
Right.
The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation. Okay, so they didn't have a warrant with that's supported by an oath or affirmation due to the fact that he literally just said that, right?
Right.
Now the Supreme Court has ruled that your vehicle is an extension of your house. So it covers under houses your vehicle. So that man had every right to.
It's your
that guy, "Hey,
personal.
do you have a warrant?"
Yeah, that's your personal private
Correct.
property. Yes.
He doesn't have a right to seize me because he doesn't have a warrant describing the place to be searched and the person or things to be seized.
Right.
So technically, he's right. He violated his Fourth Amendment right. That cop assaulted him. He had no right to pull him over. He turned on his emergency lights, which are only authorized in emergencies. It doesn't matter where you are. I have the law book statutes for the state of Missouri, and they'll tell you about emergency vehicles and when they're authorized, and it's for going to a fire but not returning from, and when in pursuit of a bona fide criminal.
Mm-hmm.
And traffic infractions are not crimes. They're not. That's already been Supreme Court precedents that traffic citations and traffic municipal codes, they're unconstitutional because they lack due process. And that was, I have that actually right here. Because it's receipts. All codes, rules, and regulations are for government authorities only, not human creators in accord with God's laws. All codes, rules, and regulations are unconstitutional and lacking due process. That's Rodriguez v. Ray Donovan.
Mm-hmm.
That's Supreme Court precedents. And it says it's lacking of due process law and that they are void for ambiguity in their failure to specify the statute's applicability to natural persons, otherwise depriving the same of fair notice as their construction by definition of terms aptly identifies the applicability of such statutes to artificial or fictional corporate entities or persons, creatures of statute, or those by contract employed as agents or representatives, departmental subdivisions, officers, and property of the government, but not the natural person or American citizen immune from such jurisdiction of illegalism. That's Rodriguez v. Ray Donovan. See, tweet goes again. I'm just telling you guys, I come with the receipts. I can tell you that you have the constitutional right. It's been proven in Supreme Court case after Supreme Court case that these police officers are illegal pirates. They don't have the right to stop you. They don't have the right to turn on their emergency lights in a non-emergency situation because that's it's a misdemeanor in Missouri. I don't know what it is. I'm going to find out what it is in Oklahoma and she already played the video, Wire.
I played part of it. I played the first couple of minutes of it.
Yeah.
So
I'm about to learn the statutes in Oklahoma, and then I'm coming after these people. Because,
okay, yeah. Well, now this was a Georgia thing, and I noticed that. Well, like I say, it sounds like they want to turn it into a racial thing as well. This was this was one of those perfect scenarios for that as well. Do you believe that part of this has to do with that as well? Because the cop was white. I was going to say, I believe this is Georgia.
It doesn't have anything to do with race because I had a white female cop pull me out in Oklahoma and threaten to shoot me.
Well, it may not have had, but do you think that they're trying to use it because it's actually an absolute perfect scenario for what they've been doing with it lately? Yes, you said yes.
Yeah. No,
okay.
No. Yeah.
Okay.
They'll try to do it. I don't think it's racial.
It usually never is. I have yet to see any videos of a white cop going up and tweaking up hiking up his belt and saying, "Okay, boy," and shit like that. No, that shit's not happening. I'm just asking you, do you think that they're using it that way because it works? It ends up working, and this is literally the perfect scenario. This goes along with their narrative exactly.
Well, if they use it to burn down cities, they're asswipes. But now, if they use it to bring down the system and the police, hey, I'm not a back to blue person. I've learned a long time ago that there are good people, but their job, they're Nazis. They're not. They're here to serve and protect us. They're the revenue officers. They're there to protect the politicians and the laws and the cities and the corporations to help keep us as debt slaves. I don't see them as, yeah.
Jada Ron says that her sister was a cop.
That's fine, but was she over there pulling people over for just going 10 miles an hour and then arresting them and taking their stuff? Civil asset forfeiture.
Susanna, welcome to the show. She says, I used to be, but not anymore. So was that what was y'all's mantra? I know that it's written on a lot of the sides of your cars to serve and protect, but they don't ever tell you who you're serving and protecting.
Or what?
Well, yeah. Usually it's I usually don't see cops taking orders from civilians. They're usually taking orders from either the governor or the mayor or the alderman or whoever else is in charge has been elected in office.
I tell you what, here's a fun experiment. All right, walk into your city hall any other day, except for when they have court. All right, there'll be not a whole lot of officers around. That's totally cool, right? You can go in there, pay your water bill, and there won't be cops just roaming around, right? You won't have to go through security or nothing.
Where at?
On a lot of places I've got. Most cities, you go into your town hall.
Oh, right. Uh-huh.
Now, when they're having, you can go to your local school, and there won't be cops everywhere. And
No.
There won't be cops with whatever, right? Now you go to your city courthouse or your city municipal hall when they have court for local municipalities, all right? And they have metal detectors to come in. There's officers there to search your bags and stuff like that all the time. And you ever wonder why? Who needs protection? It's not good guys. Good guys don't need a bunch of protection. It's the crooks.
Right.
The people who steal from everybody and use armed guys to protect them. They're the mafia.
Right.
Government gangsters. Yeah, you take it. Go do it for yourself. Go try to walk in and not get searched on the day they have court.
Thank you,
You're not going
Space
to. You're
Parrot
gonna buy
Yvonne, for the donation. You get one of these. Actually, I'm not sure. Did you do that on both platforms? You get another one here. Thank you. I didn't realize that was Susanna on the call. She didn't tell me her name. Sorry. I saw her on chat, so I welcomed her on chat. But thank you anyway. Appreciate that. I'm trying to keep up. Okay. So basically your deal is that you don't back the blue completely. Now there's a lot of people that do because they actually like have kinfolk, I guess you could say, that are cops, and they're still human beings. Unfortunately, just like any other human being, they can be corrupted, and usually, as long as they can get away with it, will be.
Yeah, I call everybody brother and sister because we're all brothers and sisters in Christ. We're all made equally. It's just some of us open up our eyes, can see the matrix for what it is, and
Right.
some of them are blind to it and play Agent Smith.
Right.
And I can sit there and I can prove to these cops right in their face. I can show them the paperwork saying, here's Supreme Court precedent saying that this is the law, and they think that they have the authority, their power in their local municipalities. They think that supersedes the Constitution. They think that they have the right to tell people what to do. And you can tell them, hey, listen, man, I have a Fourth Amendment right. Oh, no, you don't. You have to do what I say because I have a gun and a badge. And those are the people I can't get behind. I've been stopped by a few cops where I was riding my bike at midnight because I don't like it too bright. And I don't have a headlight on my bike because, well, I'm not a fag. I'm sorry. I was born in the fucking 80s and 90s. I was riding around at 2 in the morning on BMX bikes. You know, I'm not going to have a light on so people can see where I'm at.
Right.
And they're like, well, you need to have this cop stops me. He wants my ID. And I'm like, I didn't do anything. You know, you're not going to get my ID. And then he had to call in his supervisor.
Ranger.
He was a young prick. You're 84 BS libtards.
Salty MAGA, welcome to the show. I'm trying to keep up with all the chats here. I'm getting a lot of new people over on Rumble. Welcome everyone. I have 38 people watching me on Rumble right now. That's fan-fucking-tastic. Thank you so much for being here, you guys. We love our lurkers, but we do want you to speak up as well. And yeah, actually, I think the best thing you can do if you can at all do it at all is try to avoid the cops if you can. Don't call them when you think you need somebody or something either.
No.
They don't rush to my neighborhood, and believe me, my neighborhood is one of the most quiet there are. The cops don't rush out here where I live, so
I don't do anything to sit there and go crazy with the cops.
Mm-hmm.
Like I wasn't speeding when I got stopped in Oklahoma. My fucking light went out on my van on the rear license plate, so she pulled me over for that. You know, and Yeah, I don't sit there and go intentionally to kick in their face. I gotta go back to Missouri for a court case because they gave me a $200 fine for parking my RV because I was moving. I was moving into my RV from my house. I was getting rid of my house and giving it to my ex.
Right.
And I parked it in my yard so I could not move as far. You know, I could just go take stuff out of my garage and put it right into my RV. And they gave me a $200 fine for parking my RV in my yard. And I'm like, are you out of your fucking mind? This is my property, not yours. This isn't commercial property that I agreed to. The city's in charge of. Are you out of your fucking mind? Here's my I came with my owner's all my contract. I took it to court. I threw it down in front of the judge. At no point does this thing say the city of Raymore has any kind of ownership or financial anything in my property. And then the Jonathan Zers, their fucking attorney, he picks it up and he starts going through it, trying to find like if there's some kind of something with the city on it. I'm like, what an idiot.
It sounds almost like most of the banks, like they do the overcharges and the things like that, and they'll actually, if you go in there, if you call them and you ask them to take it off, they will, but it's only because of the fact that maybe 1 in 100 people do that. They charge you, you know, something because most people won't fight it. They won't argue with it. They won't talk about it. They'll just pay it.
Yeah.
So, and it sounds to me, it almost sounds to me like you had an HOA or something like that. That's something I absolutely refuse to do, is move into any place that has an HOA. I'm not paying someone to tell me how to live my life and how often I have to cut my lawn. That's why I live out in the boondocks. Thank you, Susanna, for the donation over there on Rumble. You get one of these. Appreciate that. You guys keep me running, keep the bills paid over here, so I appreciate that. Every little bit goes right back into this program, so appreciate that. Share, share, share. We want more people to actually come. Thank you, Drunken Rocky. Space Pirate Divine. Fuck you, Odysee. Now you down by $1. Thank you for the donation. Space Pirate Divine. Thank you so much. You get one of these. Bing! I made that myself. It was actually my husband's idea. So, yep. All right. So, what should we do about this other than call you when we go to court? Because, I mean, I know your shit. I've been listening to you guys. I've been listening to you for weeks. And you know what you're talking about. Do you by any chance do any broadcast or classes on the Constitution? Because my dad, when he was in politics, actually, he used to go and he used to carry the little pocket ones around on him, and he used to hand them out and say, hey, man, read this. These are your rights. Don't let them take them away from you.
It's funny you should ask that, because I was literally in the talks and movement, I guess, towards starting something like that, because I want people. There's too many people out here that talk about they know how you can get away with not paying your taxes, and they can get you out of any ticket, and then they make you pay an exorbitant amount to learn them death by PowerPoint, and then take a 10-week course. And you know, I've took parts in some of these things that was these people were charging $5,000 to teach per couple or per person in order to teach you about the law. And I'm like, you guys are sick. You guys are sick, because I just want to be free. That's all I want to do. I want to be free from the government and free and live my life like God made me, free. And I don't need people's money. I don't need them to pay. I want to help my brothers and sisters be free. I want to give them a hand up to where I'm at. You know what I mean?
Right.
All these people want to make a profit off that shit. So yeah, I was thinking about doing all of this, starting a class and starting like a jitsi, and then like bringing all these people in, and then we all work and learn together, learn how to write motions to dismiss, and then cite Supreme Court precedent. And then that way we can have all of this stuff together, so we'll be everywhere. I mean, we could be legion in every fucking region for real, to where if one of ours gets pulled over by a police officer, hey, we can have 30 people show up that know the law,
Right.
come in to defend him and be like, hey, listen, you want to have a court date? Fantastic. We got 30 people here. We can pick 12 of them and we can have a trial by jury. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And then literally put these people out of office and sue the ever-living fuck out of them.
Yeah, Tweak's show is going to look badass.
Oh, are you in Texas? That sounds like 451 Actual behind you there.
That is him behind me right now.
Hey, Mon!
What up?
Roger94 says he's done it to me. I got a Constitution booklet from him. Oh, okay, so you do the same thing my dad used to do.
Oh, I take constitutions to court when I go to for traffic tickets or anything like that, and
Awesome.
They make me wait outside now in other places because I talk to people about their rights. If
They're
you take
they're trying to censor you in real life. That's a shame.
Yep, the judge knows me, and he literally does everybody. I can come in there and check in first, and he'll do everybody else first, and then do me for last, so that way I'm not in the court.
Bring a bullhorn. Yeah, he doesn't want you. He doesn't want anybody. He doesn't want anybody to go by your example because he knows you're right, and everybody else would know you're right too, and they'd be doing the same thing. He wouldn't win shit after that.
If everybody knew their rights, we wouldn't be in the situation we're in right now. So I'm just trying to wake people up. But yeah, I'm gonna try to start a something show to where it won't be just me, so it'll be somebody who can draw the knowledge out of me because I'm half retarded. So if someone gets me talking and keeps me on point, you know what I'm saying? It's like a cat with a laser pointer.
At least you own it, man. Salty Magamat, thank you so much for the donation. He says, I like rum. You get one of these. Appreciate that. I'm hoping I can get to... I know you can super chat me over there. I just don't know how to get a hold of that money. I guess that's something I'm going to have to go and look into now because that's something that my accountant, my husband, is going to have to add to our list of things here. This is like only the second time I've ever made any money over there on Rumble. But thank you so very much. I very, very much appreciate it. And so does my phone bill. That's coming up at the beginning of next month. So... and I still, actually, this has been an incredibly awesome night so far. This is what I actually was the plan, to have people call in and talk about this kind of stuff. Because we are the ones that make the news. The talking heads talk about us, but they lie about us. They don't actually listen to us. They don't actually tell the people what's actually going on with us and how things are doing. And of course, I saw a meme the other day. I think it was Charlie Brown or something like that. Turned around, looked at Lucy and said, no one is going to teach you how to overthrow them.
Correct.
So you know what that means. You have to learn that shit yourself. And you could, if you do this class or this stream or anything like that for the Constitution, we can consider you part of our homeschooling agenda.
Yeah, my whole goal with going into court and being the tip of the spear on this one is to I want to bring them down. I want to bring down the system. I'm tired of them and their slavery, the beast system that they have. It's if you read it and compare it to the Constitution and like where I'm at, you get disgusted by it.
Well, it seems to me it seems to me that a lot of them are just following the Communist Manifesto.
More than you know.
Well, they've already taken over the school systems. They've taken over most of the hospital systems and the health systems. They've basically taken over most of the government systems. The only thing left is people like us. They've taken over the media.
They took over the community. They've taken over the community levels when they started handing out government funds for building extra housings and stuff like that, and they changed the codes for single-family homes compared to you could have apartment structures and single-family home zones.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So they ruined that. I watched my old town, get demolished by 3 or 4 housing complexes that didn't bring in like the greatest of people. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, renters are usually pretty transient. They're either renting before they buy a house, or they're renting because they move around a lot.
or the local municipalities built a bunch of warehouses in the area, and they need a bunch of cheap workers.
That too. But again, most of them, how much overturn? How much do they complain about the overturn in a lot of these places too? Anywhere there's this rental is basically you got transient people. I don't know what it is. In my opinion, it attracts people that know that the people that are renting don't mind wasting money. In my opinion.
True.
Because I'm paying right now for my actual mortgage, rent, or whatever like that, and even back when I bought the house 10 years ago, I've been paying a third of what I ever paid in actual rent, and that's from the 90s. That's outrageous. It's ridiculous. Not to mention the fact that on top of all that, they make you responsible for the building anyway. You might as well own.
Yeah, they're not happy I don't pay taxes.
Yeah, but they probably don't bother you because just like the 1 in 100 people that may or may not ask for their fees back. You're less than 1% of the population, so they're not going to worry about you yet.
That's why I'm trying to tell everybody.
Yeah, please do.
We can be like 10% of the population. They'll be like, holy shit.
Well, supposedly only 3% of the population caused the revolution, so we're way ahead of the game, I think, in a way.
Ooh, let's fucking go. Man,
Yeah.
I'm ready. I think God's coming back. I think Jesus is coming back, and we're gonna watch some last battle type shit, the stand type shit going on. We're gonna watch whatever the fuck they're trying to pop off over in Israel, off, and yay!
Can Killer, welcome to the show, Can Killer.
Nuclear apocalypse or zombies? Which one do you think, Laura?
Both. Both,
You know,
because once one happens, you're gonna have
red
the
and
other.
black.
Huh?
Red and black.
Yeah, well, that's what I say. That's right. Once one happens, the other, you're gonna have the other. Think about it. I mean, I remember the movie. What was it? The Day After Tomorrow or something like that. After it was a nuclear holocaust, whatever. And the people that didn't get blown away or burnt up by it immediately, they slowly died of radiation poisoning and things like that. Parts started falling off of them and stuff. So yeah, if you have one, you're gonna end up having the other.
Fallout 3 into ghouls.
So why does the sun travel
that's
15
why-
degrees in an hour no matter your latitude? I don't know, Toasty. I'm sorry. I am definitely not a scientist. You have to. Who would you have to ask for that? The guy that told us about Rudolph the reindeer's sex or whatever it was. I forget his name. He's got 3 names and everybody trusts him because he's on television. DeGrasse, whatever his name is, that guy. You have to ask him about that. Sorry.
No idea who you're talking about.
Neil Tyson deGrasse or whatever his name is. They asked the question, why does the sun
Neil
travel
deGrasse
15
Tyson.
degrees in an hour no matter your
Degrees.
latitude? My
Degrees are in a circle. Degrees are in a pie, in a circle.
Oh,
A
okay.
circle is a two-dimensional object. Yeah.
Why are rainbows semicircular?
See,
They're not
this
actually.
is what I've got science-wise on to recreate a. You can only do a rainbow outside. The only way to do a rainbow inside, you need a mirror, water, and light of some sort. I do believe that's what it is. It's because you need something to reflect it.
Youngberg.
And out in the wild.
That was my point, Youngberg. He's a leftoid schmuck. He's a paid shill for the establishment. In my opinion, he's a glorified planetarium curator.
I seen a video where someone asked him to define what gravity was, and he couldn't even define what gravity was.
Hello, Resistance. I am the Resistance over there on Rumble. Nobody's talking to me on Kick. That's okay. I don't see anybody anyway. Okay. Just trying to pay attention. Ben says, how can I connect with you? I've got all kinds of links below this this stream that you can click on, and you can email me and everything. So that's how you can get in contact with me. You'd have to let me know why, though. I'm not in this for dating or anything like that. Oh, Nyan Cat. I haven't seen him in a long time, Muko. There's a ton of them. Nyan, right? Nyan? Is that what it was? Nyan? Something like that? Yeah, cat. Something like that. That's an 80s meme. Damn.
Gravity isn't in the Constitution. Rocky, you're so funny. Don't you have a show to go to?
Rainbows are semicircular because the mirror behind them is the firmament. Tweak.
All right.
Slop.
So, listen, the only way to create a rainbow indoors is to have water and a mirror. So you put the mirror underneath the water and you shine the light through it, and then it reflects through the water off the mirror and then back out, and then it creates a rainbow.
Neat.
Right?
Neat.
That's the only way to do it indoors without sunlight. The only reason you get it outside, you have the water, which is the rain, all right? And then you have the mirror, which is the firmament. So there was a video on all the stuff. I watched a shit ton of videos. This is what happens when you get retired.
I see. Cougaressa says, I'd like info on earning my land. I'm skilled. So yeah, it sounds like you've already got some interest in your class. Let me know when you started. I wouldn't mind being a part of it either, or watching it, and I definitely will advertise it for you.
Yeah, we're going to see. I think 451's going to help me explain. He's going to try to teach a half retard how to use the internet.
Well, you never know. Maybe he can do all of the producing, and you can just teach the class or whatever.
There we go. He runs a pretty good show.
I agree. He knows all about that stuff.
Team members. All right.
Yeah, I enjoy watching his stream. He knows what he's doing.
And in reply to Salty Albunde, it's because he doesn't wash them.
Oh, good Lord. Do I want to know the question? That sounds nasty. A man with a cross-shaped object was spotted running through the streets of Tel Aviv, violently attacking both Israel and Hamas fighters, screaming about a crusade. He was naked? Breaking news. Where did you get this? Ginny the Human. I guess that's Twitter. Tweak, I don't think the Earth is even real, so there. We may need half retard repellent. The Earth is a Moab. Mother Earth.
That's too fucking funny. All right, I'll get off here. I just wanted to talk to somebody about that thing. That cop murdered that guy, for real. You guys, everybody needs to know your rights. There's rights and there's privileges. And if you sign over your rights to the government, they will sell them back to you as privileges.
Yeah,
So,
that's
fuck you.
what do you think a driver's license is? What do you think a fishing license or a hunting license or business license or all this other stuff is? Basically just stuff that they've taken away from you so that they can pay you, that you can pay them to have the privilege back. It's bullshit.
It sucks.
And the only reason why they continue to do it is because we keep accepting it. We keep doing it.
We need to stand up. More of us all together at once.
Yeah.
Got to build an army. That's what I'm going to start this show for. Hopefully we can build an army of people who are intelligent enough to know the difference between rights and privileges, and will be able to stand up for themselves and people around them.
Yeah, well, I am seeing our community grow by leaps and bounds, not only in the people that I see and the streams that I watch, that most of us are all on the Pure Blood TV and everything like that, but it just grows exponentially. In fact, like I say, I literally have 42 people watching me on Rumble right now, and I barely advertise, but you guys advertise, and we're growing. We're really growing by leaps and bounds, and like I say, I'm still proud of how everybody came together when you and Tom went to that one event with General Flynn and all that. Are you guys still like traveling around doing that? But I mean, you not just anybody would have came to y'all's rescue for that. I think you had backing. We have backing. That's what it's all about.
We just came back from the Reawaken tour down in Doral, Florida, just last week or the week before. Yeah,
nice. How'd you like it? That's my hometown area. That's my home area down there. You got trashed?
I got to drag I got to drag Rainoff to it. It was hilarious. So I had Rainoff out there interviewing people. I made him comb his hair back and put it look nice. I made him trim his beard because I was like, you can't look like a cave dweller, like a rusty bear. So I said, you got to trim it up and make it look nice. He looked respectable. He wore a suit the first day, and then he's just like, screw this. I'm not going to wear a suit. I'm like, okay. But he looked good. He wore a Pure Blood Media shirt. So he got to interview quite a few people.
Great.
And he got a taste of it, and now he's got a bloodlust for it. So he's just like, man, this is pretty awesome doing this stuff. And I'm like, good. I'm glad you like it. Come on, let's go. We got more stuff to do.
Great. Well, that's the best part about it, too, because, the mantra of the media right now is that if you haven't gone to some fucking Ivy League school or some been a mentor or been mentored by somebody that's already up there, then you're not worthy of doing this shit. And, it's just really talking to people. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to it's not fucking rocket science. It's not... you know what I'm saying? It's just being able to have the nerve to go up and actually talk to people. And actually, I think that's what's missing. I remember the reporting, what happened to the paparazzi? What happened to the microphones in people's faces? Hey, what about this? What about that? Everybody seems way too protected now.
Because they're bought and paid for.
Right.
Because they're suckling from the tit.
Right.
And that's the difference between us.
And they've convinced the normal man that they're not worthy of that position anymore. Screw that. It used to be the real tough, street-wise, savvy, gumshoes that used to do this stuff. Now, all of a sudden, we got to listen to some dink behind a desk that don't know shit.
Well, yeah, you see it. These people get big, and then they sell out to the corporations and shit.
Uh-huh.
And then they forgot where they came from. Some people know what I'm talking about there. But that's not us. We're not going to sell out to some fucking corporation or some shit. We're not going to take some easy money. We're just going to keep spouting out the truth, and we're going to get hated on for it. And I'm totally okay with that, because fuck the people. Fuck them, man. Them hating on us. We're going to get spit on and hated on, but that's cool, because Fox News is going to fall, CNN is going to fall, and I'm going to still be pushing Pure Blood Media for hard as fuck, and I don't care. You dream big, and you still land among the stars, or whatever the fuck those things go together.
Well, you reach.
I just made that shit up.
If you reach
you shoot for the
shoot for the moon.
Shoot for the moon.
Even if you fail, you land among the stars or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
besides that,
people may say that that's out of reach, but no, I'm gonna come replace Fox News with Pure Blood Media.
Yeah. Besides that, no man, no person on earth can beat what God can do anyway. So it's like, great for you, whatever it is you're doing, everything like that. But I answer to a higher power. Period.
That's what we're doing. We're just spreading the truth.
Yeah.
For kind of light, right?
Yep.
So we're doing what God asked us to do.
Frog Spring says, met Mike Lindell and gave him a Pure Blood Media's business card. Oh, cool. Did you say anything to him or anything? Or did you talk at all? Because, sometimes people just get a business card and they just kind of fling it. Unless the business card only helps if the person that gave it to you is memorable or says something that sparks something or whatever, or at least says hello. Did you say anything to him or just hand him a card?
I think she talked to him. I seen him the day after he was supposed to talk at the Trump Doral, him and his wife. He was walking in this purple shirt. Oh, my God, it looks so retarded. But anyway, so him and his wife were walking up to the Trump clubhouse, and I just came up there with my one of my dogs. And then his wife was looking at my dog, and I'm like, hey, Mike, it's good to see you. I just shook his hand. I'm like, hey, man, what you're doing is a real great service to the country. And on behalf of Pure Blood Media, man, I'd really like to thank you. I was just like, oh, thanks, that's very good. I didn't take that. I handed them a business card before. I mean, I'm just sitting out there. Repetitiveness. You put it ingrain it inside somebody's head. Every time I see that guy, I'm going to say Pure Blood Media, Pure Blood Media, Pure Blood Media.
Actually, what you should add to that, just a thought, and this is what I would have said. As I'm handing in the card and telling him where I'm from, some of us, there's people on here that would absolutely love to have you on their shows, and they've got, big follow, because that's what they're looking for, numbers as far as that goes. You do still have to play the game somewhat. But, if you do actually get a chance like that, just tell them, hey, I'm from Pure Blood Media, and we would absolutely love to have you on our shows or something like that. That usually will grab their attention a little bit more, because think about it. These guys are looking for attention. They're looking for eyeballs. They're looking for votes. They're looking, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, make it worth their while to even think about us. Because that's what they want, and that's what that's what you guys are going to them for in the first place. Those are the media moguls on our side, basically, right?
Yeah, we want to get some of their ideas out, or some of their candidates that they're trying to pump and stuff. We're going to give them a platform, because then they'll thank us and remember us.
Right.
Hey, that reminds me. Would you like to do some interviews? Should we put your name on a list of somebody who'd like to interview some people?
Anytime, yes. I always looking for people to interview. I would much rather have other people talk than me. I mean, I'm a talker and everything like that, but I don't want to be the only one. I'm not, the 1A is for all of us, not just me. And my show I want my show to be different than all the others too. I'm not sitting here, I don't want to sit here and lecture people about stuff or anything like that. I see things as I see things, and I can give you my opinion and tell you what I think, but I want to know what other people think too. So, and we do want those people, if we can get them, the people that we support out there to as many eyeballs. You just never know who's watching. In fact, this is true of any entertainment, if you will. It's reason why one oh shit cancels out 1,000 attaboys in a lot of aspects. Of course, you can't let that bother you. You have to keep moving.
Yeah.
So, let's see. Frogspring says, yes, I did. Some dude from Tim Pool's show stole our interview. How did that happen? Some dude, huh? You need to learn his name and I don't know. Maybe harass him. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, don't harass anybody.
punch him right in his fucking kidneys. That's what you get, guy.
Yeah, well, don't forget, like I say, Tim Pool is a moneymaker too. He's doing a lot of this stuff. And don't forget, now, here's the thing. I think this is one of the reasons why they tried to change it, because this business is kind of cutthroat. It always has been. In fact, one of the reasons why they call it a scoop, because if you're the first one to put it out there, then usually you're the one that's going to get the most attention on it. I mean, there are rules and ways that this shit works with journalism and stuff like that, especially the hardcore stuff where you're out sticking mics in people's faces. But I think that's one of the things they took a lot of the competition out of it. For a lot of these broadcasters on TV and stuff like that. The only competition they had to do was whether or not the producers liked them or not, or, whether or not they were pretty enough or anything like that. I'm noticing that we're seeing less and less of some of these people that are now getting older that have taken us through a lot of this stuff, but now they're getting fired. And you'll notice the corporations that they've been with for 10 years, they don't give a fuck. Bye. It's like flicking a flea off of them. So, yeah, that's why I wouldn't want to work for anybody else. Don't sign them contracts. They guarantee you millions and millions of dollars. But don't forget, you sign that contract, they fucking own you. They tell you where to go, what to do, what to say, how to say it, what to wear, what to eat, when to do whatever. They make it, oh, you're just so rich now and you're getting this million, like they're doing you some kind of a favor. Money means nothing if you don't have your freedom. Not to mention the fact that you got all that money and they don't give you any freedom. How the fuck are you going to spend it? They tell you what to spend it on too. It's like, no. So that's one of the reasons why I like Pure Blood Media. And you got to keep reminding these people also too, you're in a cult, you're in a cult. Well, there's the door. You're welcome to leave anytime. Would a cult do that?
At least my cult, I just tell you about some shit, let you fucking believe what you want. I don't fucking care if you believe it or not.
Right.
I'm telling you about it. It's up to you. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. I can fucking show you the truth and give you the receipts.
Sure.
If you want to be retarded and not believe me, well, that's on you.
Yeah,
Right.
well, that's the main thing, you know. Oh, you don't love anybody, you don't love anybody. Well, I do, because if I didn't, I would be lying to you, just like all the rest of these schmucks that just want to
I would be trying
use
to
you.
take your money. I would try to take your money and lie to you. Yeah,
Yeah.
I just wanted you.
Well, it worked on TV.
All right.
Well, if it hadn't have worked on TV, would you have bought it? No.
Right.
It doesn't work, but you need to buy it anyway. It sucks, but you need to buy it anyway. That is not a good slogan. Although these days, it wouldn't surprise me if there's people out there that would fall for that too.
Yeah. I always thought that there's a sucker born every minute. Well, that was a mean kind of saying, but I mean, once you...
Oh, P.T. Barnum was
Business.
not wrong. And he didn't actually say
not
that
wrong.
until after he had encountered some.
Right?
Tim Pool, the pool boy. I'm a piss in Tim Pool's pool. Can't stand Tim Pool. He's a little sissy boy. 451 actual. I lead my horses to Kool-Aid. Oh, yeah. It sounds like they'll be
Anyway,
forced
all right.
to make Jim Jordan the Speaker of House, or there will be a temp speaker for 3 months. Well, I'm actually glad that they're fighting over this. In fact, most people are saying that they need to do the 15 times just like McCarthy did. I mean, he held out. I'm not, again, one of the things that I like about this whole thing is the fact that as long as they're fighting in between themselves, they're not sending money overseas. They're not doing what they usually do. Keep them closed for a while. As long as they've got provisions to pay our military and the actual necessities. Yeah. Bring down some of that. They don't need to spend all of our money. And I asked this question. Maybe you can tell me this. You weren't here last week, I don't believe. But I asked this question last week. Since they're inflating the money so much, they're printing more and they're devaluing it and everything like that, and then they keep getting more and more to themselves. They're devaluing their own money too. How does this work? How in the world do they keep wanting more and more and more and more money if they just keep devaluing it? I mean, how is it more valuable to them than it is to us in this aspect, the way they're doing this? Do you have any idea on that?
I think they own gold. I think they're on a different level of what that shit is. They have all their money, their fiat currency wrapped up in other shit that actually is worth stuff. I mean, they want to keep making up promissory notes. Those are just IOUs. Just monopoly money. They want to keep making those up just to make them worthless. So I don't know. It's a controlled demolition. It's their plan. China did it to all its population, right?
Yeah. Well, no, I don't know exactly how China did it. China's always been kind of a dictatorship throughout all the years and everything like that. They just most of their people have always just been economic slaves. Period.
Well, well, I don't know how. I don't know history too much actually, because I can't really never believe anything you hear and only half of what you see.
Right. Well, I've been to China, and I have studied some
Yeah.
of their history, and yeah, they've never had any kind of real democracy of any kind over there. It's always been some kind of a dictatorship or, somebody one guy has all the power and everybody else bows to him. It's kind of always been that way. In fact, when I went there in '84, they were just starting to get a little taste of capitalism, and they do a lot of the capitalism over there and everything like that. But China still had, that was actually in the middle of their revolution. With the teenagers and everything like that, like they did, like Susanna was talking about earlier with her mom, with the Germans and stuff like that. But yeah, China's never ever been free in any aspect. In fact, that struggle that they had in Hong Kong, what was it, 10 years after they had given it back to mainland China, after they promised they would leave it alone?
Yeah.
Come on.
30 years, yeah.
Come on. I even warned some of the friends I had in Hong Kong. I said, you know damn well China ain't going to leave y'all alone. They ain't going to keep that promise. Nah, they got treaties. And no. So just one of the most painful I told you souls I've ever seen in my life. But hey, no, but it doesn't seem like anybody's ever going to learn. That's the reason why we're still doing this shit now, why things are collapsing as it is now. 451 Actual says because they have assets. Yeah, I think that some of them do, but I mean, like with Nancy Pelosi. You never hear about any of her gold or silver or any metal assets or anything like that. You always hear that she's done some kind of deal with the stock market or something like that. Right before they passed some bill or some law or something, like when they did the credit card thing. Back in the 90s.
Yep. Back when I was 10-ish.
Yeah, well, I was in my 30s. late 20s, early 30s.
In 99.
Yeah.
Graduated.
I graduated in 1984.
Wow,
and it's funny too because nobody
Nintendo came out.
Yeah, because nobody was actually talking a lot about 1984 at the time. The movie came out, but it was more of a science fiction thing, and we read the book, but only in honors English. So, yeah, now we're talking about more like 1984 than back in 1984. Of course, what was it? The age of the yuppie in the early 80s, like that. Everybody was looking to get the corporate jobs and marketing and everything like that. That was when marketing became a big thing, and everybody was making 100,000, 200,000 or more in the marketing business. I can't believe they're actually still offering that class anymore, or that degree anymore. Marketing, that's been gone by the wayside since the late 90s. There's no such thing as marketing anymore. They don't do that shit anymore.
Hey, there are some very interesting people in our community that have degrees in marketing. It's useful. It comes in handy sometimes. It's not what it was in the 90s, early 2000s. It's because the age of the internet, everything, you could do this shit online. You get some guy who can build a web page, and that'll be better marketing than most things.
Yeah, I agree. Gargle Snot, welcome. He's over there on Rumble. He says, read the novel Taipan by James Clavell for a good history of Hong Kong. Okay. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, I may have read that already. I've read so many books throughout the years, and I'm getting old, so I don't remember every word of everything I've ever read. Hell, I have trouble remembering what I had for breakfast this morning. Ivan's a hard taskmaster. Yes, but he's fair and he's a good man. So give him kudos over there. Not Me B. Welcome. Tell me real quick, how can I get the rest of my links on my Pure Blood Media spot, or do I have to pay for the rest of that now? Marketing people, we all know one actually. Well, I was going to say, I never went to school for it, but I've always had to market my band or any of my shows or any of my artwork or any of my art shows or when I had an Etsy or when I sell online or anything. I constantly having to come up with pros and advertising slogans and different ways of describing my shit that sounded more exciting than here's a necklace I made. So yeah, another one of them things that they've fooled you into. You have to go to school for it. While paying, what, $80,000? Good Lord.
Yeah, right? There's so much fucking shit that's just ridiculous. I'm glad I was smart. I was going to go into political science because I wanted to be a politician. Because
Thank you, Not Me B.
Change.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to change how the system works. And then I realized that as a senator or something like that, you can't tell people to go eat a dick.
And still,
yeah, you have to be.
Nice that yeah, so I realized that I wasn't the type of a person that could wear suits. I would be, well, no, I wouldn't be a John Fetterman. I've got better standards than that. But I would still tell people to go eat fucking a big bag of dicks. Eat a bag of dicks, you fucking queer.
Yeah, well, you would have to do it in such a way where they enjoyed the trip. You have to have that, yeah. And I was going to say, this man that I was going to show everybody, we're almost at the end of the show now, but this one man I was going to show everybody that this is the way it's done. The guy in Canada, did you see what did you think she called him? The apple muncher.
An apple muncher?
Yeah, apple muncher. Yeah, he was getting kind of lectured and kind of gotcha questioned by this liberal news dude and everything like that, and he was just acting all casual. This guy was starting to get upset and starting to huff and puff a little bit because he wouldn't just go on the defensive for some of these questions. Like he's, oh yeah, you're taking a page out of Trump's book, and it's like, well, what page are you talking about here? What the hell, you know? He was accusing him of all of this other stuff and everything like that, and this guy was just munching on his apples. I don't know what you're talking about. And every time this guy wouldn't like go on the defensive, the reporter would just kind of so it's like, yeah, this is what we should have been doing from the very beginning, not letting these people get to us like this. Although it's hard to, you know, some people never learn. They take a lot of this shit personally, and instead of you know, thinking, okay, this guy's a dumbass, I don't really, you know, he has no effect on my life, whatever, you know. Salty Magamat says, ingest a satchel of Richards, Thomas Jefferson, probably. Yeah, you Richard Cranium, you. You get one of these. That's hilarious. Thank you, Salty. Over there on Rumble. That was good. I like that. I love the English language. I love to play with words and stuff like that. And that's one of the best ways to do it. In just a satchel. A satchel of Richards. That's what made me come up with.
Satchel of Richards.
Yeah, that's what made me come up with my Richards Eater Bag. When I hired Vincenzo.
That was the military in the army, man. I said, eat a bag of dicks. Eat a fat bag of dicks.
Mm-hmm.
I used to tell people, eat a bag of fat baby dicks. They're like, what the fuck? Fat baby dicks? What the fuck? Yeah, fuck you. Bag of smacked ass. You look like you fell out of the fucking, what the fuck was it? The dick tree. You fell out of the dick tree and every dick on the way down.
Yep. Well, one of my exes came up with Richard Cranium, which is short or long for dickhead. So, Not BB says we will have to eventually send a TOS and maybe some basic community guidelines for. Oh, that's for Pure Blood TV. Says yes, promoting the website at least once a stream might be asked as a fair trade. Well, I do it all the time. Am I banked on some then? I do it at the beginning and the end of every show. To let everybody know to go there and check out all the streamers. Because we may not all agree with one another, but we are a community and we are sticking together. Because diversity is not our strength. Unity is the strength. We know you do it, Laura. Right. You're an OG. Thank you. Thank you.
Who's saying you're an OG? Right?
Not me B says I'm an OG. And I've actually been advertising it since we were a flyer. I mean, I can remember when we first started this. This is why I can say that this community actually has grown by leaps and bounds, because I can remember when there was 6 of us on a flyer. Started out with Pure Blood TV. And I was one of them, and Pastor Chatelet was one of them, and I think Raynoth became one. Like I say, it went on. There was 6 of us to start with on a flyer, and now we're in an interactive website that does all the cool stuff that all the other cool websites do, all the mainstream websites do. The best part about it is you can get in on the bottom floor with this, and it don't cost you nothing yet. So
right? Well, it'll end up paying out for everybody involved.
There's only one way to go up. There's just this collapse of news that's going on that if we get in there, we start writing our own stories and we start reporting everybody in their area. Hey man, shit, I can go to that. Let me go grab a camera. I got a camera.
Right.
Record stuff.
Right.
Ask questions of some people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we can show the actual truth. And a lot of it, if we just do it live like that, there's no spin. We don't do clips. We don't clip it together like the mainstream media does to give you a different story or to give you some kind of a mantra that they want you to do that doesn't feel right most of the time. Not even realistic in a lot of cases. Gargle Snot says, my favorite authors are Clive Cussler, Wilbur Smith, Ben Bova, and Carl Sagan. Carl Sagan, isn't he dead now? Anyway, actually, Pastor Shadley just posted a meme about this last thing that our old guy in chief did. You missed the best part. You got this guy behind him staring at him, but did you see the balls on his chin? Where did those come from?
I know, right?
Where did those come from?
They look like a crab's little pincers. Maybe he is a lizard person.
That was so weird.
The lizard's pincers.
It's blinking. Oh, okay, that's blinking?
Yeah, it's blinking. He's not blinking. He was fucking wide-eyed that entire thing.
They were all trying to anticipate what he was going to say or not. The weird part about that was I watched that and Memes 101 or whatever it was on Odysee, he did one too, and he showed it where he had his hand on his mouth. He put his hand up to his mouth, and then those things appeared. It was almost like he pushed him down or something. It's probably something in his plastic surgery to give him a cleft chin, but memology, yeah, memology 101. He's like, you guys pointed this out from my last meme, and I can't unsee it now. And it's like, actually, that was the first thing I saw and thought to myself, wow, he can control those little bumps on his chin? Because he was literally moving them and stuff when he was talking. It's like, ugh, plastic surgery gone wrong.
All right. All right. I'm getting off here. I'm going to let you do your show. I've been on for an hour and some change.
Okay.
Great.
Well, I do appreciate you calling and letting us know about that. And let us know when you're going to have more time to teach us more about the Constitution, because, again, we might even be able to, if you do something like that, we might even be able to include you in some of the homeschooling, or even, hell, you never know if we can finally get you in the public schools and stuff like that. People need to be taught their rights. And I believe that that's one of the reasons why they've stopped teaching civics in school, because they don't want to teach you how to overthrow them.
Correct.
Because the Constitution...
scared of the...
Yeah, because the Constitution actually does have provisions for that if they become too tyrannical as well.
Yeah, we're Americans. We don't do what we're told. We don't get told what to do. We're free motherfuckers. We throw tea into fucking harbors.
Yep.
That's what we do.
We went bananas and had a revolution over a 2% tax, and now they're taxing us 10 times on everything before we even get it. So, come on, people, wakes up.
That next revolution is going to be fucking lit.
Coon dog! Freedom! Limited access!
All right.
All right, thanks so much for calling and sending me that clip. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Keep up the good fight, man.
Later.
God bless.
Yep, you too.
Good night.
Later.
All right, shout out to Tweak the Soldier. All right, I was going to show you a bunch of stuff that we should be doing. Of course, Tweak actually is the prime example of a lot of the things that we should be doing, which is, you know, I'm not saying don't comply, but at the same time, know your rights. Know your rights. Don't get killed, though, all right? That's not cool. But if you do, make sure that your loved ones know your rights. All right. Here was something that I don't know anybody really gives a fuck about, but here we go again. They know we're winning. In fact, I've had a couple of people on our side have said that the primaries are essentially over. Trump is the candidate. He's going to be the candidate. Nobody can even get close to him as far as that goes. So then you have, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this woman started this movement with the celebrities the last time they started talking about, oh, we're leaving the country if Trump gets in there. Cher says she'll leave the U.S. if Trump retakes White House in 2024. I almost got an ulcer almost. She almost got an ulcer. And who gave it to you? I don't think I remember Trump mentioning her name once during all of this. Not even lately. Not even now. So nobody cares. In fact, good riddance. If you want to go somewhere else, that's your business. You got the money to do it. Take you and all your fucked up shit with you. We don't care anymore. You're not in charge of anything. You're not an expert at anything. Hell, I know a lot of people love her. I don't even think she sings that well. All right. And of course, I was going to show you Candace Owens, because Candace Owens got up in front of a college and they started asking her this they started lecturing her about, she was wrong and I'm a part of this and I'm not confused and during the question and answer. And she just was like, okay, do you have a question for me? I don't need to hear your lecture. You're not up here, And one girl got up there and said, well, what do you say to the people that are directly triggered by your presence here? Get a helmet. Get a life. Nobody's twisting your arm to be here. In fact, I can't. That's my question to a lot of these people. Why in the world, if you hate this person so much, to where they trigger you, to where you have to bite your nails and you're pulling your hair out and you're screeching, why would you pay to subject yourself to that in the first place? Because you're not fighting her and you're not going to change her mind about any of this stuff. Otherwise, she wouldn't be doing lectures. I mean, hello? But these people have zero sense, zero common sense. Paulie says, if I could turn back time, I could find a way, I'd take the steps to prevent myself from looking like I do today. Cher looks like a ghoul. Well, that's what plastic surgery and hydrochloric, whatever that chroma, whatever it is, that these kid fuckers use, does to you. Salty Al Bundy, that's hilarious. LA, stay positive. Psychosomatic is real. We can heal ourselves. Let's see. Thinking I've been underdiagnosed or misdiagnosed. Might have MS rather than RA or a combo of both. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, limited access. But make sure that they do you right. You said you had a great doctor. Is that not turning out to be the case? Or did he just make an error? Don't use the internet to diagnose yourself. Know your body. Know your body. So anyway, yeah, like I say, she basically told these students that got up there and literally didn't have questions. They were literally lecturing her. And she was like, I'm really too pregnant for this. I'm not your mommy. I'm not your whatever. I'm not here to coddle you. I'm here to make statements. You're allowed, it's good that you disagree with me. Live your best life. But I don't care. I don't care. As long as you're not hurting anybody, as long as you're not, grooming children, and as long as you live a little bit in reality, if I didn't care, I wouldn't be talking to you this way. I wouldn't be trying to tell you the truth, and et cetera, and et cetera. So, but I was going to say, like I say, we're going back to 2016 again. Cher started this in the first place. I wonder how many more tweets there will be now with all these celebrities. Oh, I'm moving away. I'm going to take my football and go someplace else if Trump makes it. So, if you're so scared of him, why aren't you up there running for something? Why aren't you up there counteracting whatever it is he would say if you think it's so bad? Why aren't you people up there running? Why aren't you people up there doing more than just saying how bad the other side is. Because you know what? It doesn't make you any better than them. Salty Magamet, you believe in Trump after Trump? Evidently Cher does. Thank you for the donation. You get one of these. Evidently Cher does, because... but I have to go back to... I couldn't have said it any more perfect than Candace Owens did 6 years ago, or 7 years ago when this happened.
I hate crying on camera too. Oh, celebrities. It kind of makes you miss the days when they would jump on stage, thank the man upstairs and their mom and dad too, right? Here's the thing, famous ladies and gents. Nobody cares what you think. Nobody cares what you think. We don't care what you think. I watched the VMAs to see whether or not Miley Cyrus's hair has grown back, or how close they're gonna sit Britney Spears next to Justin Timberlake still, because there's still a little drama there, I think. I do not watch award shows to see what happens when little toddlers first hear the word no. Award shows have become a gross spectacle of rich kids that literally live in gated communities and do not touch their own car door handles, telling me what I have to #resist.
Yeah. Again, like I say, they're starting the same thing over again. It didn't work the last time. This is one of the things I hope they don't learn from. Keep it up. Let them keep talking. Let them keep talking. Because it just shows everyone else what a fool you are and who we want to avoid. Let's see. Applesauce muncher, more like it. What are you guys talking about? Doctor's okay, but a big pharma doctor. My shot 4 times a month costs $14K a month. No, not a typo. My body wants more and more to suppress the immune system. Not cool. Yeah. Pardon me. Sody water. So... But, you know, we were talking about Xers and everything like that. I think this is one of the reasons why a lot of Xers just don't care. They don't want to be involved in all of this stuff because we've gone through shit like this. And you guys are going to love this. This is hilarious.
Hey, Dad, do you remember when I was a kid what I was most afraid of?
Now, there's a mullet for you, bud.
Chucky. Tell everybody why I was afraid of Chucky.
Well, one night I was watching Chucky on VHS when it come out, and you was a little kid, and you was around the corner watching it behind my back. And you got so scared you went to your room and threw away that little My Buddy doll you had. I didn't know what was going on, so I took that doll out of the trash and put it back on your dresser and went to work. Well, the next morning your mother called me, and you in the background screaming and yelling, and she told me the story. What happened?
7 years old.
And she told me the story of what had happened, so I thought it was pretty fucking funny. So I get home, and you'd already had a burial for this damn doll. You'd sliced it up with a pair of scissors and buried it in the backyard. So I waited till you went to sleep. I went out and unburied that doll, stitched it up real good, and set it back on your dresser. And then...
Nothing funny about childhood trauma.
I went to work.
I think so.
And waited for the phone call. Well, your mom called me. And you was so hysterical, you couldn't even make a word. You was just crying and bawling your eyes out. And then you burned that damn doll and buried it again. So the next night, I unburied it after you went to sleep.
You son of a bitch.
I super glued the fucking burnt parts back together, stitched up the little overalls.
And you ended
I was off the next day. See, anyways, I took the damn doll, I tied a piece of yarn around it like this and put it on your top bunk bed on that little safety railing. So when you woke up, you slept on the bottom bunk, and you woke up and it was right there in your face. So I woke up the next morning and you was in there scared and terrified and screaming. You wouldn't even get out of the bed. You just kept hitting that doll with your pillow.
And this is the man you married, younger stepmother. And you also bit yourself in the ass because I ended up sleeping in bed with you till I was like 12 years old.
So you're a baby. You wasn't in my bed. You was in my room.
You're a baby. What boy wouldn't want a doll that comes back? Sparky the Welder says, I convinced my son that the TV was a touchscreen when he was about 6. He's 11 now. My wife still fusses at me about it. Yeah, because she's the one that has to clean the fingerprints off of it, right? Jen Psaki reminds me of Chucky, like the wife of Chucky, ugly as mud fence. Gargle snot. Oh my god, that's fucking hilarious. Yes, that's why I say most of us Xers went through shit like this. Survival, it literally does end up being survival of the fittest. It's always been that way. That's, I mean, look at nature. This is how we learned how to live a lot of our lives as far as that, watching the animals. But this is what this little kid here has the best advice I've ever heard for anybody.
Can you stop being a jackass?
To all you people, the lefties, and all you people that don't know anything and want to try and lecture everybody, life hasn't even kicked you in the ass hard enough for you to be lecturing anybody, not even a year older than you. So yeah, stop being a jackass about this stuff. Again, if you spent a third of the time on yourself and your causes, as you do, on lecturing strangers or trying to poke your finger in somebody else's face and blame them for your bullshit, you'd have your own communities. You'd have a lot of the stuff that you're begging everyone else to do, that you're trying to force everyone else to do, that doesn't work, that nobody is listening to because it doesn't work. We already know it doesn't work. Go try it out yourself. Find out. You will. Because reality bites, but it's there. And that's why. The Russian nation formerly known as Ukraine. It could be prepared. Okay. Do you hate your meat? Limited access. I don't know. All right. I'm not going to have time for more like this or any of that stuff, but I do appreciate the phone calls, and that's actually one of the main reasons I do this. I do want to show you a couple of more things. This came across my feed. It's through Crazy Clips. It's really it's a really weird thing. I've never seen anything like it. It looks like a fish or a stingray or something out of water, but this is in some guy's backyard. Ah, come on. There. What is this? That is the weirdest thing. Anybody know what that is? Thank you very much for sharing your charm with us again tonight. Well, you're welcome, Cy. Thank you so much for being here. Cyberpunk reference. Poilé. So glad you guys were all here tonight. I really appreciate it. That's how I watched Chucky 2 for the first time. I used to do that all the time. My parents would put me to bed uber early, but the TV, my door was here and the TV was down the hall, so all I had to do was hang halfway off of my bed and look out the door, and I would watch TV when they put me to bed early and stuff like that. I never got caught either, unless... And I could always, and it was set up in such a way to where the bathroom was right next to my bedroom. So I could actually see the shadow of somebody getting up and I could get back in before anybody came down the hall. So, so yeah, I watched a whole lot of things that I probably shouldn't have back in my day. Gargle's not salty. Yes, Trump is a Galilee grade miracle sent straight from heaven. Love Trump. Huge supporter. Did you know his grandmother's maiden name was Christ? No shit. Yeah, I didn't know that. I'll have to look that up. You're very welcome, Lizzie Longtoes. I do appreciate that. Of course, I never ever leave you guys. I know I'm running a little late, but that's okay. But I never ever try to leave you guys without a message from Marmari, or actually, to be honest with you, he's definitely a vessel of God. And I thought you guys might appreciate this for this particular show. This is the way it should be. Everything went to sleep. Here we go.
What is happening in the 21st century is nothing but evil. Please, I'm saying this with love and respect. I'm not judging. I'm not saying anything, but I know what's happening because my Lord revealed to me what's happening. I don't take anything from no one. I take it from the Lord. I pray for everyone. But I'll say what you're doing is evil, but I'll pray for you. I love you, but I hate your deed because it's evil. So please, Corona came, and then the pandemic, the plandemic, and then the vaccination, and then the booster shots, and get a life, right? Yeah, get a life. When someone like Bill Gates has a hand in it, automatically a question mark has to be put. When someone like George Soros, but these are puppets. There are bigger boys than these. They're behind the scene. But Jesus sees them all. Well, they have no idea. The Lord is surprising them. They think they're going to surprise the Lord. My goodness. Satan has laughed at them, bluffed them, blinded them. The Lord has a surprise for Satan and his followers. If they do not repent, they will end up in a place they will regret it forever. It'll be too late to come back from it. Too late. All the money of these rich people that think they can control the world, and they want to bring this new world order and force it upon the masses. They think they can do whatever they want. They have no idea. They're playing with fire. There is one true divine God in heaven, the creator of everything that is visible and invisible, the creator of everyone and everything. This God is Jesus Christ of Nazareth. And I say this not because I'm a Christian, because this is the truth. This is the truth. This God is always in control.
Yep.
So do whatever you want. Jesus is laughing at your Satan. But the Lord uses Satan to discipline his church, who has denied him and walked away from him. Where is that humility? Man, it's missing.
All right. Salty Tuna, welcome, welcome. The show's over, but I appreciate you being here anyway, and thank you for commenting. That's about it for me right now. Don't forget to support all the folks on Rougaroo's Interactive, purebloodmedia.tv. Or what is it again? Community on the TV guide. Like I say, it's a news TV guide. You can see what's on right away. You can advertise. They got social media. You can get in touch with them and everything like that. It doesn't cost anything to be a part of the schedule. So if you are a creator and you want to be a part of this and you want to get discovered, because there are people also working away from the keyboard to get more people to this party over here, if you will, or this community over here, if you will. So make sure you keep checking out community.pureblood.tv. And of course, be sure to head on over to the Drunken Rocky Show, the White Pill Experience, or the Drunken Rants, or something like that, over here on Odysee, right after my show. In fact, Sparky the Welder just put a link to that over there in the Odysee chat. He wears the vestments of orthodoxy but speaks the word of a true believer. Yes, indeed. You're welcome, Toasty. I appreciate all of you. Thanks for being here. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the phone calls. And don't forget to send me your clips, commercials for mine or your shows. God bless you and God bless America. And as always, I wish you peace, health, love, and music. And until next time, AMS.